I'm often asked, Mercedes, should I apply to this job even if I'm not qualified? To which I answer yes. Hell yes, every single time. Hi, I'm Mercedes. Welcome to my channel. I'm an executive recruiter and a career coach, and I use my knowledge to help Black professionals find meaningful success in their careers. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what questions you need to ask yourself before applying if you commonly think that you're unqualified for a position. Often you should, but we're going to get into it, so let's go. Make sure you stay until the end because I'm going to share with you the exact reasons why you should not apply, and these are the only reasons that you should ever use if you decide not to apply for a job. And I'm also going to share with you a bonus tip that I think will really help you if you often feel insecure or worried about applying to positions that you don't feel qualified for. So let's go ahead and get into the 3 questions that you should ask yourself. Okay, so the first question that you should always ask yourself is, do you meet at least 50% of the requirements? So I know 50% sounds really low because you're like, well, they're asking for all of these things and I only can do about half of them. But I want you to know, and also from the lens of me as an executive recruiter, that the position description often describes the perfect candidate, what recruiters sometimes call the unicorn candidate, which is likely a very small portion of the population of active job seekers. So often they're probably not going to get too many candidates that really fit that entire description if they get any, especially in this job market. So I want you to know that if you don't meet all of the qualifications, there's probably not that many people out there who do, and that, yes, you should apply anyway if you meet 50% of the qualifications. And I just mean the preferred qualifications, right? Because if you don't meet the minimum and they've outlined those, then it's not a good idea to apply. I want you to know that this number is flexible. So for those who are out there and you feel super insecure, I want you to get a hard number, right? That you can really tangibly say, okay, I meet 50% of these, so I'm going to apply, instead of feeling insecure or having fear or anxiety about applying. I want you to take the emotions out of the application process and just look at this from a purely quantitative manner. And if you meet and you say, yes, I meet 50%, then I want you to apply anyway, okay? And so if you don't really deal with the imposter syndrome or you don't really deal with feeling insecure, then that number could honestly be a lot less. But I just want people going into this who feel insecure to feel secure. Okay, next one. Number 2 is, do you have transferable skills? So transferable skills are skills that you have in one position that you could really leverage and use to your advantage for another employer or another position. And so often the best way to ask this is, have you done something similar to this? It may not be the exact same thing. It may not be the exact same job title or duties or whatever, but have you done something similar? And that's ultimately the question that you need to be asking yourself. Do you have transferable skills? Have you done something similar? If yes, then you meet those qualifications, okay? It does not have to be for the same exact position. So for an example, I've worked with people who are looking to be a paralegal, right? Or they're wanting to work in the legal space and use those administrative skills, right? So paralegals, at the end of the day, they need really strong organizational skills and administrative skills. And so, for example, right, if you're needing to build reports or draft reports as a paralegal for your lawyer, your attorney, right, then that is something that's transferable from having to pull together any other report from any other position or having to do research and compile that and submit it, right, in any career path. And so just because you haven't been a paralegal doing the same type of reports that paralegals perform and do, right? Those are transferable skills that you can lean on if you want to become a paralegal. So I teach a lot about this in my Black Professionals Academy. So if you're really struggling to feel like if you can't figure out what your transferable skills is, I really encourage you to check that out below. We're going to go to number 3 now. Number 3 is this a job that you can learn to do and that you truly love doing? Okay, so employers are not just hiring for those hard skills, right? Employers also want somebody who fits into their culture, who's going to be productive, who's willing to learn, that's flexible, that they can coach, they can mentor. And so for people who are stuck in their ways, that's a little bit harder, but that might not be the case for you, okay, boo? Okay? So I want you to, if you can consider that, yes, you can learn the job and that, yes, this is a job that you would enjoy, then I want you to apply anyway. anyway, because employers can often pick up on that passion and that joy in the job search process. And even if it's a position that may offer you some challenge, that may be a little bit of a leap, if you're going to be the person that's passionate, willing to do it, hard worker, and you're going to get the job done, then ultimately you may be the person that they select for the position, even over somebody who's more qualified. And I'm not just saying this to make you feel better. It happens all the time, okay? So apply anyway, boo, let's get it. Okay, so I promised you bonus content, and I wanted you to know that, yes, there are some times when you should not apply to a position, and honestly, you're probably going to be surprised by these because it's probably not what you think, and it's probably not what you're considering when you're you're conducting your job search and you're looking around. So the only time that you should not apply to a job is if you don't have any transferable skills, and also that it's more of a stretch goal for you. So just to make it clear for those of you who are just living out of the anxiety, I get it, me too, sometimes it happens. The first one is, like, for example, like if you're a marketing director, I'm sorry, that was a bird. It was a bird and I thought it was chirping. Okay. So the first one is, for instance, if you are a marketing director and you're applying for a physician's job, right? Like you didn't go to medical school, you don't know anything about anatomy, like you don't know how to do surgery, whatever it is, right? That's not what you were trained to do. And you've never practiced doing any of those and all the licensures and other things that are required to be a physician, right? You don't have any relevant transferable skills that you can go from a marketing director to a physician, okay? That's really clear. So see how I'm picking this really crazy example because there's zero transferable skills. So if something like this doesn't apply to you, you probably should apply, right? The second example is when it's a super stretch goal, right? So for instance, I'm an HR manager. If I was going to apply for a CHR role at a huge major company, that would be way too much of a stretch for me to actually be fairly considered for that position. Not fairly considered, but really meet the requirements of that job, right? I just haven't been a leader at that level. Now, if I was looking at an HR job, I was an HR manager and I was looking at a CHR role at a really small company, based on my background, I might be able to be considered for that role if I position my skills and experience well. So those are just things to think about. Again, to what level you have those transferable skills. If you have none, then don't apply. And also, if it's way too much of a stretch goal, it's just not something it's a couple levels up in your career path, right? It may not be the best time, just considering the other factors like I mentioned, right? Because it changed a little bit for me. And that bonus tip, I'm giving all the bonuses. If you are feeling secure about applying to jobs, the reason probably is because you lack understanding about the value that you provide and what you can do for companies. And so if you don't feel like you add a lot of value, it makes it really hard to say, oh, I could see how I could provide value in this job. I should apply. And so what I want to encourage you to do is take some time to think about who you are from a professional branding standpoint and focus on that. If you need help, ask some colleagues or some friends, some mentors, whoever your boss, how you provide value, what you do, that's great. I want you to kind of take that in and fill yourself up because it's going to help you feel more confident. It's going to help you understand that you can be a valuable asset to any company, even if you do not have all of the skills, all of the qualifications and everything else, okay? So pull that position description up, pull some things out that you've done, and really prove to yourself that you could be a valuable asset in this role, okay? Okay, so I really want to know from you in the comments below, is there ever a position that you were really interested in or excited about, but that you ended up not applying for because you didn't really feel like you were qualified enough to get the job or get an interview, or that you should even be applying in the first place? And I want you to really consider, how do you think this may have impacted your career over time, right? Maybe you would have been in a much different place if you did. So let me know in the comments how you're feeling about that question. I would love to know. If you're here and you're listening to this and you're like, you know what, I have a really hard time transferring my skills to a different position. I don't know how to position my brand. I don't know what I can do to help. And I want you to know, like, that is one of the best things that you can do from a confidence standpoint, to applying, to interviews, to even getting an offer letter and negotiating this. This is all about truly understanding how you fit in and what makes you great. So I want you to have the opportunity to learn how to do that, and I want you to learn how to do it pretty quickly overnight. And so if this is something that you want for yourself, for your career, from a professional standpoint, I really want to encourage you to join the Black Professionals Academy. It is my low-cost membership where I teach you all of these skills in trainings, videos, resources, and group coaching, because I want you to be successful. So just go ahead and check out the comments below. I will put a link there, and you can learn more and join if you so choose to do so. Remember, at the end of the day, no one meets any of the qualifications 100%. Okay, so even if you feel afraid, if you feel insufficient, I want you to make a commitment to apply anyway. If you answered yes to these questions, I promise you that in the long term, your career will thank you so much. So if you like this video, make sure that you subscribe, tap the bell to get notified of new videos. I love building a community on YouTube. And if you found this video helpful, share it, okay? Don't keep this knowledge for yourself, okay? Help other Black professionals grow. It helps me in the YouTube algorithm as well as those who you care about and them building their career. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.